Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
A home explosion on the city's west side, launching debris all over a neighborhood. These are live pictures from Sky 4 showing the scale of what happened this afternoon. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. This is happening at a home on Sussex Street. That's right in the area of Greenfield and Puritan. Crews getting the call just after 3:30 this afternoon. Let's get out to Will Jones. He's been live on the scene there. Will, give us an update.
Kimberly and Devin, firefighters are now confirming that this was an explosion. Thankfully, no one was hurt. This home is vacant, so no one was there at the time. And neighbors tell me they believe this all could have been prevented.
We just thank the Lord that we were all protected. You never know when something like this is going to happen.
The explosion leveling this vacant home at Florence and Sussex this afternoon.
So I jumped up out of the bed and said, what in the world is going on?
A woman living in a neighboring home jumping out of a first floor window to get to safety. The explosion causing significant damage to her house.
I can imagine what a terrible that was to the lady that was living in the house. Half the house is gone over there.
The explosion blew out windows at several surrounding homes on this block.
I have one window that's broken in my storm doors. It blew the glass out of my storm doors.
Neighbors say they had been smelling gas for the last several days, and they say they reported it to DTE.
We told them, my husband also said, you know, if they don't fix the problem, we're going to find out in a minute where the problem is, and clearly we found out where the problem is.
I'm upset because one spark, the whole block could have been blown up.
We did reach out to DTE, and they say they are here on scene making sure this scene is safe for this investigation. Firefighters say they have not determined a cause of this explosion. We're live on Detroit's west side. Will Jones, Local 4.
My goodness, what a scene. All right, more to come. All right, Will.
All right, more breaking news happening right now. This is on the Lodge Freeway. The southbound side is closed at Chicago Boulevard as police respond to a major crash that happened there. Take a look here. This was the scene, I guess, about an hour or so ago. Right now, we don't know much about what happened, but we do know there were serious injuries. We have a crew at the scene. We'll bring you any updates as we get them. Drivers should certainly steer clear of that area. All right, new at 6. A family outraged after the gravesite where their loved one is buried is torn apart by vandals. Happened at the Woodmere Cemetery on Detroit's southwest side.
And Sean Lay has been following this story for us today. He spoke with the family of someone buried there. I'm curious what they think about all this, Sean.
Two things: that it's creepy, and criminal. They wanted to meet me. Family wanted to meet me right here to show me what I can show you right now. What happened to their loved one's grave site? They want to know who did it and why. Your sister comes up to visit the grave.
And
then she calls you or sends you a text? Or
she calls me. She videos me, but I was at a game, and then she texts me the pictures.
And then when you saw the picture, what did you think?
It took me a minute to comprehend what I was even looking at, because I was like, what is this?
Right.
And then when I did, I just started crying because I'm like, who would have did this? What is going on?
Brenda Sexton's husband, Marshall, was murdered in 2016, the victim of a home invasion. His final resting place here at Woodmere Cemetery in Detroit. But look at this. Someone came here with a shovel, dug this hole down to the vault, throwing the dirt on the headstone.
I don't know what they was looking for.
That's weird.
Very weird.
There's more. Brenda's son took his own life. The family planting seeds for a tree in his honor at this very grave. And that's exactly where someone dug this area up.
I just started crying because I'm like, who would have did this? What is going on? That's disrespectful for anybody out there that can come to someone's gravesite and dig them up, or even dig where they are.
Don't be scared. It's probably...
Folks here at Woodmere Cemetery came right out to us and said they were aware of what happened. They called it some sort of internal family issue. The family says that is absolutely not the case, but their gravesite was targeted by someone. And think about that, someone bringing a shovel here and starting to dig down, all the way down to the vault, right at that specific site. Family is asking anyone who might know anything about it to contact Detroit police. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
Really bizarre. Okay, Sean, we appreciate your report. Well, we told you last week about a story out of Southgate. Residents concerned there about a vacant school being demolished due to what they believe was inside of it.
Well, today we've learned the school district is going through with demolition. Victor Williams there with more on what we found out. Victor.
Yeah, Devin and Kimberly. So we've been told that at the beginning of the demolition, there was an asbestos abatement on both the inside and outside of the building right here, but they have found nothing wrong. And because of that reason, demolition is continuing.
I think with what's happened before with the fires, Canada, Nova Scotia, and all this coming here, I think people were concerned about what they're breathing and what's going into the air. And of course, all the children over there to the school next door in the neighborhood.
After weeks of uncertainty, it's been revealed that no one is in danger because of the demolition at a former school and former school board facility in Southgate. Jerry Polovich, owner of Aqua the Salon, has had a front row view of the demo for months.
I think they're casually concerned, and maybe like anybody else, some are more worried than others because they just fear the unknown.
Last week on Local 4, we told you how the way the demolition process was being handled was causing some to worry about the potential of dust and asbestos spreading in the air, being so close to a neighborhood and playground nearby.
I mean, that's not ideal. It's not something I'd like to see happen, but it's been not actually a very long process. It's been going pretty quickly, I feel like, and it's just going to be part of the process of the demolition.
But it turns out there's nothing to worry about at all. The superintendent of the Southgate Community School District sent out the following message to parents, in part saying, quote, because of the news story, Eagle conducted independent and unsolicited asbestos testing of material on the site. No asbestos was found. Demolition will resume with additional dust suppression activities.
Southgate's a pretty good, close community, the school systems and everything, and I think people really, really are there for the school system, and I think it is a sigh of relief for them.
Amy Boster was never worried to begin with.
I never had a concern. We had heard many years ago that they had removed the asbestos when they were going to start having a Lad2Key program over there, so I wasn't concerned at all.
Now the results of the tests, as well as a way to monitor the progress of the demolition, all of that can be found on our website, clickondetroit.com. In the meantime, we are reporting live in Southgate. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor.
It's been 18 days since the UAW went on strike against Ford, GM, and Stellantis, and still no deal has been struck with any of the automakers. Let's bring in Mara McDonald. She is outside the UAW Solidarity House. So, Mara, just kind of catch us up to speed on where things stand right now.
Well, as we talk, Kimberly, the UAW is in negotiations, it says, with all three automakers, although it clarifies only formal discussions with two. You're going to remember last Friday, the UAW escalated strikes against both GM and Ford. It did not include Stellantis in that, simply because they said bargaining with Stellantis had gone well that week. Well, fast forward to tonight. The union says that while it's talking to all three, it's really having formal talks with only two of them, and that would be GM and Stellantis. In addition, General Motors telling us at this hour that it has already had to send another 160 workers home on layoff because of these escalated strike targets. As we speak, 25,000 UAW workers are currently walking the picket line. And here's a number that is absolutely incredible to consider at this point. Anderson Economic Group out of Lansing has done some data crunching over the last 2 weeks. It estimates the losses in totality from this strike over the last 2 weeks are at $3.9 billion. That's billion with a B dollars. Now, to be perfectly clear, that doesn't mean just losses to the Detroit Three. That means losses in wages, like $325 million in lost wages, as well as more than $1 billion in losses to suppliers alone. We're live on Detroit's east side at Solidarity House. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Incredible numbers. Okay, Mara, thank you.
While that UAW strike continues, the union avoids a different one with the Mack Trucking Company. The two sides reached a tentative contract agreement late last night, just minutes before the contract expired. Details on the agreement not yet known, but as the union has stated, their demands were similar to those with the big three automakers, so obviously we expect to learn more.
A Warren man drowned this weekend after jumping off a pontoon in Orchard Lake. Police say Lou A. Hanna Jr. jumped into the water just before 7 Sunday evening and began to struggle. Someone else on the boat threw him a life jacket and jumped in, but Hanna went under before they could reach him. Rescue teams found his body about 300 feet from shore.
DPD is asking for help in finding a man they say tried to rob a dollar store last week. We've got photos that they've released now a few hours ago. You can see the suspect's face pretty well in these pictures. Police say he tried to steal money from the Family Dollar on East Jefferson on Detroit's east side. If you know this person or saw anything that might help, you're urged to contact Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. One of the world's most invasive aquatic plants has been found in Michigan for the first time ever. The DNR says patches of hydrilla were found in 2 southwest Michigan ponds. Experts say the plant damages the environment by outcompeting native plants. Quickly filling a lake or a pond, you can identify hydrilla by its long, slender stems that float near the water's surface. If you see this plant, contact the DNR or Eagle right away.
Former President Donald Trump in court today with cameras recording his every move as a $250 million civil fraud trial got underway. The judge recently sided in part with the New York Attorney General's office, finding Trump committed repeated acts of fraud for years. The AG claims Trump and his family overvalued and undervalued his assets and exaggerated his net worth to banks and insurers. Trump angrily called the trial a quote-unquote disgrace.
We have murders going all over the city, all over the state at a record level. It's an epidemic, and they waste their time on this with banks that were very happy. They got all their money back. They weren't defrauded. I've been defrauded.
No matter how much money you think you may have, no one is above the law. And it is my responsibility and my duty and my job to enforce it.
Trial is expected to last about 3 months. Trump and 3 of his children, Don Jr., Eric, and his daughter Ivanka, are among the 28 witnesses prosecutors say they plan to call.